For 10 weather team has been tracking all of that. Meteorologist Ross Caruso is in for Jerry tonight, and it's definitely been. We remember the drought conditions, then we finally got some rain, and then it's just been a lot of wacky weather, though.
Yeah, fortunately, no reports of anyone getting harmed from those tornadoes that came through, and unfortunately, while we have seen some rain still, looking at the latest drought conditions, while this was taken last Tuesday when we seemed to start to see most of the rain pick back up across the state, I have good reason to believe that we may be out of the moderate drought situation, but we won't see those updates come until later this week going into Thursday. But yes, over the past week, we have seen some up and downs with our weather, of course, starting things off pretty wet for us early into the week, and then the rain chances kind of dwindled away as we departed for the weekend. But most recently, that has changed since this morning, seeing rain showers across town. And again, this is a quick look at the last 6 hours, and this is all thanks to what is going to be kind of the story of the week. Is just an unsettled weather pattern that fortunately isn't going to be providing any real big chances for severe weather, at least in the near term, but more often on rain chances. Not everybody's going to see rain every single day, but there will be rain chances every day, and that's because of this particular situation that we're looking at. And it might be confusing to look on the radar because most of the times when we're looking at it, we see stuff that's moving from the west to the east. This is coming out of the southeast, pushing towards the northwest. So the winds are coming out of the east. So for the most part, we're going to be looking at primarily that of light rain. And as you can see, that has been becoming a bit more enhanced off to the west over towards Madison County, parts of Pickaway County as well, and just in the western part of Franklin County, but really haven't seen a whole lot of rain potential here in the city as of late. Still looking at most of that rain over towards London, making its way into the western part of the state, over towards Springfield, Mount Sterling, likely seeing some light, steady rain. And of course, this could add up a couple hundredths of an inch, but for the most part, we are going to be looking at pretty light rain chances for the short time frame. Now, looking at temperatures, pretty big difference across the map, especially if you've been dealing with more rain and clouds through the day. Slowly but surely, we were able to make it into the upper 70s today. Right now, it's 77, 78 in Logan, 80 in McConnellsville, 80 in Coshocton, so much warmer towards the north and northeast, and that's essentially going to be the case pretty much every day for us. Now, for the remainder of the evening, we'll see more light rain chances come through, likely seeing more rain fill in east of Columbus as we head into the early part of the night, and that's where I do think we'll see some chances for some rain overnight going into the morning on Tuesday. But for the most part, again, this is going to be pretty light, nothing of which that, if you forget the umbrella, it's not going to be the end of the world, but by now you should probably keep that handy or at least locate that so because we are going to see some rain chances pick back up heading into Tuesday. Much like today, it's something that will be coming through for the first couple hours, and then we'll be washing away, pushing towards the west as we head into the afternoon. Still looking at a decent amount of activity down south of I-70, but for the most part, especially north of Columbus, we will be looking at more of a mix of sun and clouds. For us here in Columbus, we'll probably be mostly to partly cloudy, temperature-wise climbing back into the upper 70s for us, and then slowly things will start to fill back in with some of that rain, much like tonight. So very similar pattern, if you will, as we head into your Tuesday before starting to bump down the rain chances just a small bit for us. But look at what we have for the week ahead. Anywhere from 40 to 60% chance for rain, not only just to end the week, but even go into the weekend. So this unsettled weather pattern, essentially, it's all thanks to what happens in a jet stream, and that has a correlation to what we see at the surface. And essentially, we see a change in our jet stream, much like when we were talking about all the wildfire smoke. Similar situation in that we are looking at an area of low pressure that's just spitting away. You can think of it as a pinball in a pinball machine. And then finally, later into the week, we'll see a lever or a mechanism that's going to help to push out this low to the north and east. But with that, we will see more chances for rain, as we'll see kind of another shift in our pattern. But for the most part, it is going to keep things pretty active, at least for the foreseeable future. Temperature-wise, we're going to be right on par. Looks like we might warm up as we head into the weekend, but for now, looks like you definitely want to keep that umbrella handy, and we'll definitely make sure to let you know the next chance we see the potential for severe weather.